What it do, YouTube? It's your boy, ItsKheals, and today we getting right back into Attack on Titan final season, episode 61, Midnight Train. Now this is only the review of the anime. I won't be spoiling anything from the manga, so anime only, guys. You're safe here. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. And we're gonna get right in. That's better. So we get right into it. There's the military brass of Marley are having a meeting where they won the war, but Marley winning the war isn't the topic of discussion from other nations. As we've seen from episode 1, there are technology now that has advanced well enough to be able to not only injure normal Titans, they damn near killed Reiner, the armor Titan. Zeke could have died damn near had Reiner not had gotten in front of all of those enemy fire that ended up taking him down, but giving Zeke the opportunity to take down the sea forces of the Mid-East forces. So the commander is talking about how all these advancements that's going on with all these other nations, even in the newspapers, they are applauding the Mid-East forces who just lost. Like, they just lost, but it seems like the other nations are more fascinated and captivated by the fact that these technologies that's being advanced and that's constantly evolving, they're able to hold on for 4 years. There's a 4-year war with Marley, who have Titans, and not only some of the 9 Titans. They have normal Titans, they have aberration Titans, abnormal Titans, all of these things, and Mid-East forces for 4 years were able to hold themselves in a pretty good standing against a nation full of weapons like that. So Zeke goes in, and again, you kind of see how Eldians don't have any sort of respect. They're nowhere near of the top of the hierarchy in Marley. They're literally at the bottom, and you kind of see that as the episode progresses. It sort of resembles Nazi Germany. I don't want to trigger anybody, but it really is Nazi Germany, down from the Eldian clothes to the ghetto that they're placed in. It really is a segregated place. It really is, and it's sad in a way because the Eldians hate all the other Eldians that are placed in Paradise Island. Eren, everybody, like everybody that's a part of the main cast that live in that part of all the walls, they are hated by all the other Eldians outside. And Titans are the worst nightmares for anybody that are within those walls, because you're segregated from the rest of the world too. Your technology can only advance as far as the smartest people that are within those walls. So yeah, you have 3D maneuvers, but you need height. If you're not at a certain level high enough to reach the nape of the neck of a Titan, you're pretty much losing. So a lot of stuff happened in this episode. You see just how traumatizing wartime is. You see just how inferior Eldians feel compared to regular citizens of Marley. On the Midnight Train, you have Colt, who up until this point pretty much kept a level-headed personality, stature to himself from being on the battlefield in episode 1. He was fascinated at the fact that Zeke was even allowed to have a say in the meeting with the Marley generals. So we have him on the Midnight Train getting drunk, and not only getting drunk, he is boldly yelling out and praising Gabby to the other 800 Eldians, who was pretty much put in a suicidal mission to take down the armored train. He pretty much discloses and tells everybody that you are alive today because Gabby went out there and pretty much did what nobody else thought could be done without sacrificing you. And I was taking down not one, but pretty much 2 armored trains was taken down, and the first one only was possible because of Gabby. So they're all yelling, they're cheering, they're celebrating, and you have Falco on the side talking to Reiner. And from here you really see that being one of the 9 Titans is supposed to be an honor, but given Reiner himself, he knows what that means. You don't live long, and even as an Eldian, there's no guarantee that you live long regardless of being one of the 9 Titans or not, just because of how discriminated against, how much lack of rights, how looked down upon they are, not just within Marley, because in one of the scenes you have Udo and the warrior unit looking at prisoners of the Mid-East forces going back home, and Udo is pretty much certain that they're gonna go home and they're gonna talk about how ruthless the Eldians are. And Eldians are like the lowest of the low in terms of human, in terms of how people view their race, just how Eldians in general are viewed around the world, except for maybe Paradise Island, where that's pretty much all Eldians at that point. Eldians and other ethnicities that was displaced pretty much from times of war with the Titans coming in and stuff like that. So it's difficult, and you see Reiner pretty much berate Falco. And in the beginning, I thought that he was really just trying to keep Falco alive so that Falco doesn't get Colt and his family killed. But in the end, you kind of see he tells Colt, you have to be the Armored Titan, and you have to save Gabby from the fate that we both know happens. We don't live past 27. There's the fact that you have to be in war. Your life is always in danger. Marley will replace you at the drop of a dime if you do anything that's outside of what they want you to do. So I thought that Reiner was just trying to keep Falco alive, and I feel it was that too, but I think it was also to reinforce him that you have to be better than Gabby, because right now Gabby is the shining light of the Warriors unit. Even before she did what she did on the battlefield in episode 1, she's the most talented. So it's almost a given that she was going to be the one that takes over Reiner's Armored Titan abilities. And you kind of see that even in the family when they go home when they make it home to their hometown, Liberio, which is a ghetto. It's just literally a ghetto. All the families, these gates open up. It looks like, I think there's barbed wire at the top to make sure nobody leaves. It really looks like something that you would have seen possibly in World War II in Nazi Germany, down to the wristband. Everything just looks like that, and you're supposed to feel for the Eldian, and I get that, until we get to the scene of Reiner and Gabby's family sitting down. I think it was Gabby's father asks Reiner how it was at the island, being around Eren and the other cast, and Reiner goes into detail. Pretty much starts off with the mindset of how you would think an Eldian living in Marley would view everybody on Paradise Island. Called them ruthless, called them savages. But in the middle of explaining all of that, he starts naming some of these qualities that you would really name if you would really name another person if you were friends with them. That just seemed like something that seemed like an inside joke that you would say to a friend, but you know you're joking, and it's almost like a term of endearment. And he goes off on this tangent, and when he snaps out of it, his whole family is just like, whoa, like hold on, that's not how you're supposed to speak on these guys. And the window's open, his mom gets up, slams the window, and he reassures Gabby, because Gabby's like, they're bad people, right? Like Reiner's talking about them like they're cool guys to be around, and Reiner's mom slams the window, pretty much making sure nobody hears, and reassures Gabby that those people are devils. They abandoned us. Okay? And you kind of see that feeling of abandonment is a real source of their hatred for everyone that's on Paradise Island. They were able to leave, and for however long that they've been there, yeah, there was threats of Titans, but there's a wall there. There was a sense of the hierarchy was pretty much placed at rich and poor, military, police, people that protect the king, the scouts who are crazy enough to go and attack Titans. But for the most part, there wasn't really real discrimination outside those walls. Eldians are treated like pretty much third-class citizens, if you even want to say that they're citizens. So yeah, that feeling of hatred from the Eldians living in Marley to Paradise Island, it's a source of jealousy damn near, because again, you're treated like crap. Your history is rooted in feelings of being the bad guy from every other nation, not just your nation. It's every other nation that's around you. You can't even leave and go to another nation and say you're an Eldian. You're gonna get treated the same. It doesn't matter wherever you go, except for when you're in Paradise Island. So, and you see Reiner's character going through, I really want to say, split personality. Like he loves his people in Marley. He wants to protect these guys, but he also grew a very high sense of attachment to the people in Paradise Island as well. You have two, and there's also we get introduced to two new characters. You have Galliard, who was the Jaw Titan that we saw, which was my favorite Titan from episode 1 that was doing his thing. You have Peak. I hope I'm saying that right. Don't attack me. Peak stands. I'm one of you guys. I just can't pronounce the name correctly. Don't go after me like that. So, but those two are going to seem to be some of my favorite characters so far, especially Galliard, who was the brother of Marcel, who seems to be the personality that Reiner picked up on when he was in Paradise Island with Aaron and the others, which seems to be Marcel would seem to have been characterized as this reliable guy, this person that's always there for his friends. And Galliard has the memories of Ymir, who we finally see what her fate was. She was not taken captive. She was eaten by Galliard, which is how he became the Jaw Titan. And yeah, his design is better than Ymir's. I will say that. I don't know what design they gave Ymir, and it's kind of sad. Like, they didn't give her no really cool design. They just gave her a really agile Titan. Like, at least Galliard stuff looks pretty cool. So you have that, and Zeke pretty much has a meeting with all of the upper 9 Titans pretty much, and he has this discussion about going back to Paradise Island and trying to retake the founding Titan from Aaron and them. And it's going to be interesting. I will say that overall this whole episode was a nice change of pace. We just came off of a episode full of action. We settled down. We were getting introduced to the other Eldians and Marley. We get to see how they are treated, even after the family time that we just got with Reiner and Gabby and his family. The scene right after that, there is a soldier who just jumped off a roof, just like that. It just jumped off the roof. There's also Eldians who were digging in the front lines who are now traumatized from feelings of hearing bombs going out there, going all through the front lines, where one of the other generals, I forgot his name, but he was in the first episode, I think Magath or something like that. He is such a dick. He's a dick. He made a little joke. He made a boom joke. He just yelled out boom, and all the Eldians just went through a traumatic moment. They all ducked down. They're shivering, and there's this one guy who doesn't even have a leg. No spoilers. No spoilers at all. We will see what goes on there, but overall, I think this episode is pretty good. It gave us all a deeper insight on just how the Eldians and Marley, what their lifestyle is. We see the effect of Reiner pretty much after the war, and even his state of mindset, even the state of mind that he's in after coming from Paradise Island to 4 years of being in war. Even 4 years later, he's still affected by the time that he had over there. It's nice to say Attack on Titan is back, man. And again, I've read the manga. I know what goes on. I'm not here to spoil anything. Anime only, guys. I'm taking this journey with you. It feels new to me. I haven't reread those chapters in years. I haven't reread none of those chapters in a while, man. So watching the animation is a nice change of pace. Seeing the animations, even Udo's animation when they was talking by the water seemed pretty smooth. It was okay. And it seemed like Udo is the one that's getting all these good animations here and there. He had a pretty good animation in the first episode, so I'm curious to see how big of a role he's gonna have. You can't just waste all your good animation on sideline characters and he doesn't really do anything, so I'm hoping they give him something then too. But that's gonna do it for this episode review, discussion, whatever you want to call it. If you enjoy, leave a like and subscribe. Tap that bell notification so you'll get notified whenever I drop a video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. It's Kills. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.